Hello everyone. Today I'm doing my speech on some of the responsibilities of a work study in the Veterans Affairs Office at Elizabethtown Technical and Community College. I currently work at ECTC and I am a work study in the Veterans Affairs Office. And today I'm just going to talk to you about not all of the responsibilities and duties that I do, but just give you kind of an idea of some of the responsibilities and duties that I do. Okay, first I'm just going to start off with saying the Veterans Affairs Office is just an office for veterans to come to use the benefits that they receive to go to school, and that's just basically the big gist of it. And it's a lot that goes in it, but basically it is just an office where we do a lot of paperwork and we deal with a lot of different things, deal with different chapters and so forth and so on. Okay, one of the responsibilities that I personally do is it's called logging, and logging is a process in which any paperwork or anything we receive on anybody in the office, I would take it, put it in a database, and I would put their name, their social, the form, the date we received it, and what chapter they are, and then I would put my initials saying that I received it and that I'm logging it in the database. And what it is if something happens with the student's file, or if they come in and we don't know, and they say they gave us something and we don't know when they gave it to us, we could just pull that up and we could just look at it and say, okay, you gave us this file, this piece of paper on this day at this certain time, and then that'll just save us time from having to go to the student's file, or if we can't find the student's file, we could just pull up the login database and we could just say, okay, you did give us this, and this is when we received it, and then further steps will proceed from that. I also have a source saying on why logging is so important. Cecilia Payhole states, keeping financial records is important in having an organized filing system so you can use them to make the records useful, which is basically saying, like, in case anything happens, you need to have a plan B. You can't just, if we just have files, anything can happen, and if the file is missing, then how are we supposed to know what the students gave us, and so on and so forth. Another very important thing is prior credit. What I do in the office with the prior credit is I just send a prior credit letter. It's not really, and in a sense it's kind of important, but I don't really do the prior credit. But the prior credit is just credit that anybody receives from a different college, or you can get military, or just any type of credit that you receive, you are entitled to, and it goes towards your degree. When we get the prior credit, we do it, and then what I do is I will take the student's file, take out the degree plan, make a copy of the degree plan, highlight the prior credit they receive in pink, and then I will send them a letter telling them how much prior credit they received and towards what degree it's going towards. And then I would attach instructions to the letter, and I would give it to my supervisor so she can sign it, and then I would mail it out to them. Also, we do another form which stays in the file, and it's just a form where if the student says, well, I did the instructions, I didn't really get it, they'll come in and they'll just sign it really quick, and that'll be it. But it does become kind of, I don't know, if the student doesn't respond to the prior credit, we have to keep sending the letter over and over again, because the student needs to acknowledge the fact that they have prior credit in whatever degree they want. Another quote I have is, according to the Veterans Affairs webpage, you are required to have your prior credit educational training and experience evaluated. It is kind of against the law. If you have prior credit and we don't give it to you, we can get in serious trouble for that. So prior credit is just something that's just really important. That's just, I kind of just send the letter, but at a sense, it's still like, if I don't send the letter, the student doesn't really know they have prior a question that is uh, always kind of a frequently question that is asked in the VA office is, when do I get paid? When do I receive my money? That's kind of like the number one question that we hear a lot of times. And it is a very, once you get rolling, it's not that bad, but to start off, there's a lot of paperwork, which, like I said, with the logging, the paperwork we receive, I would log it, and then it would take further steps from there. After it is logged and everything is good, there's a certain amount of paperwork you need to have in order for your file to start off. What I would do when we get all the paperwork and my supervisor says, okay, the file is good enough, you know, send them a letter letting them know we got everything we need, and then we would send a letter saying, hey, we just need this, and then we could start processing. When I get the enrollment form, which is something that has to be done every semester, I will print out a schedule and a bill. I would take the schedule and make sure that all the classes fit. If the classes don't fit, if all of the classes don't fit, I would just send a letter saying all the classes don't fit. If your classes don't fit, you could have 5 classes, and if 2 of them fit and the other 3 don't, you would just get paid for those 2. Classes that don't fit, the VA won't pay you for them. And so I would just send a letter saying, hey, these classes don't fit, I need you to fix these classes so you can receive your money. If all the classes fit, then you're good to go. I'll just go in, do the certification, and then I would give it to my supervisor so she can certify it, and then you'll be good to go. A Veterans First coordinator, Christina Weiser, states, once the VA process and approves your payment, you receive monthly payments at the beginning of each month for the preceding month. This applies to a couple of the chapters, but when you get all of your paperwork done and everything finished, then you'll receive your the money that you're entitled to get. And so that's just something I know a lot of students will come in and they'll realize, oh, I don't have my money. So that's just a long, dragged out process. But the only thing that I would do is just set up everything, get everything ready, and then hand it over to my supervisor so she can further process them and do everything that she needs to do. There's a lot more into being a work study that I do, but these are just some of the main things that I do in the VA office. I feel like these are a couple of the important things. A lot of people, they don't really pay the Veterans Affairs Office any attention. They'll come into college and go, oh, it's the Veterans Affairs Office, yeah, whatever. But there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just, we're just not there to look good. We do a lot of work. So I just felt like informing people on what takes place, a little bit of the things that take place in office, so people know, like, oh, they really do a lot of stuff. It's kind of cool. But as far as everything goes, I would say, even though the supervisors sign off on everything and do all the important things, work studies, we kind of just set up everything just to make their life easier, smooth sailing, stuff like that. But thanks for listening.